This is the YT Jeffsy CF Pro. It's part of the new wave of longest travel 29ers coming out. In the Jeffsy case, this means it's got 140mm up front, matched to 140mm at the back. This is the top of the line model, so obviously the CF stands for carbon fibre, so a carbon fibre frame, and you also get kind of Gucci shiny Fox factory shock and fork. To help combat some of the flex inherent in having a larger wheel, YT have opted for these extremely bling-in DT Swiss XMC 1200 wheels. It's a full carbon fibre rim, it's really nice and deep section, doesn't actually feel too harsh, but it tracks very, very accurately, and it's impressively light. Another nice thing is the Jeffsy is shod with some proper rubber. So these are Onza Ibex 2.4s by 29, good aggressive tread, excellent traction, it really, really hooks up. The Jeffsy is a bike pretty much made for around here. It's full of swooping, flowing single track, not too steep going down, not too steep going up. Just nice full flowy trails, but still you're going to hit at absolute flat out speed. The Jeffsy has a reach of 425mm for this medium-sized frame. For my preferences, and I'm only 5'8", that's a little bit short, it feels a little bit cramped sometimes, but I could quite easily move up to the large frame, although then the 150mm dropper post might be a little bit of an issue. On the plus side, the Jeffsy's got a really progressive geometry elsewhere. It's a nice steep seat angle, it's got a super dinky 95mm head tube. That means that the front end is slammed. Combined with the integrated headset, bar height means that it can be at really low, which allows you to weight that front wheel. The rest of the frame is really nice and stiff. You get adjustable geometry there. In low, I'd rather just leave it there all the time. I don't really see why you'd want to put it in high. There's still plenty of ground clearance on the BB. Quite a nice tight back end. You can't fault it really, unless you like really, really long bikes, which I do. Considering the Jeffsy costs about 6,000 US dollars or about 4,500 euros, the spec on it is really impressive. SRAM 11-speed drivetrain, race-face carbon fibre cranks, going to mention the wheels, shiny shocks, Renthal bar and stem, Gavid Guide ultimate brakes. You can't really fault it, especially not for that cash. Actually, that's not entirely true, because I can fault it on one thing, namely that my bum really does not get along with this SDG saddle. I'm not sure if I'll ever have children anymore. Another neat little feature is you can just about squeeze a water bottle in here. It has to be YT's own designed one, but if you're into packless riding, that's going to be a real bonus. So onto the ride. A lot of people accuse 29s of being sort of a bit boring, not that involving. It's not always been true, but in the case of the Jeffsy, it definitely isn't true. This is a really fun, really poppy bike. You can absolutely rip it round corners. It just drifts beautifully because of those big wheels. It packs a far harder punch than you'd expect from the travel numbers. Aggressive tyres, really, really confidence inspiring, and all the kit works really, really well. You don't really notice any flex either. Okay, up front it's got a non-boost fork. At the back it is actually a boost rear end. That didn't seem to be too much of an issue. What flex there is just works really, really well with the bike. Helps kind of like hook you up in the corners and keeps you feeling pretty supple and comfortable. If you're a fan of bikes that feel like really, really taut and sort of kind of like stiff, maybe the back end of the Jeffsy might feel a bit too squidgy for you. It's been one of the few bikes that I've ridden recently that I've really considered using the climb switch on the shock to stiffen it up for sort of flatter or uphill pedalling sections. If you're into having sort of like quite an active ride and one that really does very well at sucking up bumps, then you can't really fault it there. My colleague Rob Weaver has ridden this bike really extensively and he's reviewed it fully in Mountain Biking UK magazine, and you'll probably be able to catch the review on BikeRadar fairly soon. But those are just my first impressions of it. I kind of wish it was a little bit longer and a bit more aggressive, but as it stands, it's been one of the very few sort of quite short geometry bikes that I've really wanted to come back to riding. And on kind of flowy, fast single track, it is incredibly quick and incredibly fun as well. Again, for the money, you can't beat it. And I reckon, considering that you can get cheaper versions of this carbon fibre frame and also alloy framed models, that if you're in the market for a long travel 29er, the Jeffsy has absolutely got to be worth a look.